everybody, welcome to podFlow2 practice. We're going to start up here in just a little bit. I'm Brad Hoback for those of you that don't know me. And just if you could give me a moment, give me a little bit of a sound check, make sure that you can hear me all right, and then we'll get ready to roll. Filming of these things is always so interesting. And so, as we start to move through our practice today, what I want to really pay attention to is some of those deeper aspects of our practice. I find that, in a very interesting way, the practices that we've done in the past over the years, if you practice for a long period of time, or even over the months if you've only been practicing for a little while, in many ways that's paying off right now because of the different kind of stressors that we have. I feel like there is a tendency maybe to think of yoga in many ways as a way of coping with discomfort of the present moment, or whatever that is might entail for you. At the same time, we also should think about yoga as a way of building up a kind of resilience in our system or in our body. It's about building a skillfulness about how we handle stress, how we handle discomfort, and then allowing that to be something that is over a period of time, we cultivate that resilience, and it allows us to, in many ways, essentially it allows us to find a way to keep our shit together when things get a little rough, which for most people I would say that seems to be a consensus right now. If we think in terms of kind of this notion of keeping our shit together, there's metaphor mixed in on top of that, in that, I almost said on top of that, it sounds strange. And so we want to think in terms of like how we choose to address our practice, how we choose to address the core engagement that we have, in many ways as a way of building a robust kind of center, a robust core. In Sanskrit they call it hridaya, and hridaya is simultaneously, it means kind of our core, but it's also our core of being. And so as we work to cultivate our core, it allows us to find those deeper, more internal kind of aspects of who we are. But hridaya actually, in its most truer translation, means heart. And so the heart of our practice is essentially, it's those core principles or those core actions that we want to cultivate over a period of time that allows us to stand strong in ourselves in a way. And so that's what it is to keep our shit together. When things get tough, when things get kind of discomfortable, or the discomfort kind of shows itself, it's the ability to stay rooted true to who we are in that space where our values are so kind of more important to us. And so that's our yoga practice. Our yoga practice is allowing us to find the capacity and the ability to keep it together when things get rough. The analogy, if we call it analogy, it could also just be simply the kind of melding of body and mind. That aspect of yoga practice, that union, is when we work into our postures, as we do so, we want to think about keeping our core engagement, and that means not just our core as far as our abdomen, but also our core as far as our arm engagement and the way that we hold it, our strength in our body. If you took practice yesterday, the Ashtanga with me yesterday morning, I talked about how we can activate through the lower part of the rib cage, the core muscles right in this space here, and then the ones just above the pubic bone. We find those 4 different points, and it allows us to activate the core. It's almost like, as I often use as this analogy, of pressing a sword, one of those sandwich swords, right through this spot here, right through this spot here, and in so doing, it kind of holds it together. Same thing up here, holding it together. So as we work through our different practices, our different aspects, not just thinking about engaging your six-pack abdominals, but thinking about hugging those different spaces in towards the midline, hugging them in towards one another a little bit, but also allowing an expansion out of the waist, okay? And then the other thing that I think is super important is that we've kind of like activate certain principles in our body, in our way of holding and maintaining focus. And so the one I want to work with today is drishti. Drishti is where we set our point of focus, our gaze. In some formal practices, they'll have, like Ashtanga, there'll be very specific drishti that you set your focus on, and it's part of the practice. It's actually, when we have a good drishti in certain situations, in certain postures, like in triangle pose, it allows us to actually build good, appropriate alignment. But really, the internal focus that I want to kind of provide you with is this notion of drishti as being a soft gaze, a kind gaze, but also one that's as if you were taking maybe a bite of something that's just really fabulous, and so your taste buds are just lit up and excited. And you might be like this for a moment, but then you would savor that space. You would kind of like allow yourself to really enjoy. You'd like, right? And that action of drawing the roof of the mouth hollow and just slowly allowing our gaze to drop a little bit so that our attention moves inward a little bit more towards our taste buds. And so my good friend Gretchen, another teacher over at YogaPod, she makes malas, and she has a mala website called Heavy Lidded Drishti, I think it's .com, and so you can go and purchase some of those there. But my focus on that is the name of her website is Heavy Lidded Drishti, and so we want to think about closing our eyes just a little bit so that eyes are heavy as we move into our postures, so that we're allowing ourselves to feel our way through. Oftentimes when we have mirrors, it kind of can become distracting. When there's a lot of people around, it can become distracting. But I want you to feel more mesmerized. I want you to feel as though as you work in through the practice, that you are really paying attention to the deeper, more internal, more meditative aspects of it. If we think in terms of keeping our drishti, our focus inward, we think about engaging through our core. Those two different aspects of it really do allow us to move through our practice with real heart. When our eyes are fully open, we're distracted. When they're fully closed, we're distracted by kind of moving in towards fantasy. And so having that space right in between allows us to observe, but yet at the same time remain a little bit dispassionate, which is a skillfulness we want to cultivate here. And so let's go ahead and come to seated as you would like for just a moment, and then we'll just sit nice and still. Allow your breath to start to become prominent in your experience. And again, try not to close your eyes, try not to keep them open too much, just let them be heavy. As the roof of the mouth softens, you might even feel your ears move back a little bit. Allow yourself to move into the sensation of the breath, the rise and the fall of the breath, the expansion and the contraction. So even though the eyes are slightly open, allow your attention and your focus to move inward. Taking one more breath. Go ahead and remove your block if you're using it for your seated posture, or you can also just keep it right where it's at. We're going to start in a fish pose, so you can do it a supported fish pose where you're laying over your brick. I'm going to use a yoga wheel because I have one available in my brick, so I use a smaller brick when I'm practicing, so you can use that. If you don't have either a brick or a wheel, or you can use a pillow, or you could just take a supported fish pose and allow your body to unfold. And so our drishti in that action is going to be off the tip of the nose, heavy lids. Try not to look back too much. Let your head draw back. Support is needed. Off the nose. Breathe into the back of the rib cage rather than just into the front of the abdomen or into the front of the chest. Breathe the back of the rib cage nice and big. The sensation of an opening of the heart. Just a couple more breaths. And then supporting yourself as you inhale and come up. Pause for a moment. And then go ahead and take child's pose. Arms out in front. And allow yourself to coil back in, tailbone drawn down. And again, maintain your drishti, that point of focus off the tip of the nose, eyes open. Allow the breath to really draw you in. Some cat-cow coming up onto your hands. Knees just about hip-width distance, same thing with the hands, and we'll do some cat-cow breathing. So inhale, heart forward, breathing, expanding the heart forward, breathe into the back of the lungs a little bit. As you exhale, pulling belly in, wrap the body in. Inhale, hollow through the lower abdomen. Feel it draw in as you lift the chest, roll the collarbones back. Exhale, push into the floor, coil your tailbone down. Inhale, scoop the heart forward, shoulder blades move back. Exhale, push into the floor, shoulder blades move away. Keep your drishti. Inhaling the heart forward. Exhale, pulling it in. 2 more. Inhale, heart expand. Exhale, pull it in. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Then go ahead and inhale, lift your left leg up, and then bring your foot to the outside. So bring the arch of the left foot down to the floor. Right foot rotates to the outside. Lift your left arm long and feel a nice stretch. Reaching side body long. Maybe you let your head draw back. Look towards your palm. The outside of your left foot. Press it down into the floor. Feel the side body through the waist open. Front of the hip flexor. Releasing left hand down. Then release back to the center. Take your right leg, reach it back. And then bring the outside of the left foot to the outside. Bring your right foot down. And then right arm comes up. And again, push down through the outside. And then let the head draw back. Look off the tip of the nose towards your palm or just towards the palm. The right outer heel wants to come up. Push down, lift the heart, pull it through, and then release. Right hand comes down to the floor. Inhale, pull the heart forward. As you exhale, let your booty pop back behind you. Lift your hips towards the sky. I'm a big fan of the booty pop, right? And so thinking in terms of lifting the hips to the sky, inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, hips push back first. Rolling the spine, inhale, coming forward, lift the heart. Exhale, hips move back. Again, inhale to plank pose. Hold the heart open. Lift your hips up, booty pops back, push it back, inner thighs back. Inhale 1 more time, pull it open, and exhale, hips come back. Now knees down to the floor, knees down, chin down, chest down. Inhale, come forward into that shape. So hold that shape. Take your tailbone and take it back behind you. So tailbone draws down, waist pulls up. So you want to feel that action, and then from there, lift the rib cage, chin towards your chest. Roll the body up into a little cobra. Exhale, back into child's pose. Inhale, coming up, and then knees down, chin down, chest down. Maybe you exhale to take the tailbone towards your heels. Roll forward, lift the heart. Exhale to down dog. Take your deep breath here. Inhale, fill up the heart. Exhale. Inhale into a strange plank pose. So we'll call it a strange plank, but it's plank pose with your booty up as high as it'll go. So pushing tailbone up towards the sky a little bit, pubic bone up towards the sky, way up on the toes. Now the hands push into the mat. Make it strong. Dome the upper back. Keep the legs engaged and strong. Thighs are strong. Push down through your toes. Push back through your heels. Hips lift up. Come back to your down dog. Inhale. Expand the back of the body. Exhale, deepen the groin. Inhale into that same form. Inhale, come forward. As you exhale, look forward. Bend the knees into that crouching tiger form. Look forward. And then step forward or float to the front. Inhale, lift chin up off the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift your heart open. Exhale, step back or float back. High push up to low. Or knees down, chin down, chest down. Booty pops, tailbone down. Roll the heart open. Exhale, hips towards the sky. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling, and then bring your knee in towards your nose. As you do, shift forward. Now take your right foot, bring it towards the outside of your left ankle. Bring your left heel down to the floor. Bend your knees for a moment, and then really push your left arm long. Side plank variation. Lift the heart up, pushing back. Looking back a little bit, so your skull draws back. The highlight bone moves back. Look towards the palm a little bit. You could, if you needed to, bring your knee down to the floor. But if not, pushing long through both legs. Release left hand down to the floor. Lift your right leg up towards the sky. Might as well bring it in, knee to nose again. Again. Inhale, lift up. Bring it down. Left leg. So inhale, come into that strange plank pose. Lift up the left leg nice and high. And exhale, press back. Lift up that leg a little bit more. Inhale, come forward. As you exhale, knee towards your nose. Inhale, lift it up, and then thread it through to the outside of your right foot. Bring that heel down to the floor. Maybe you bend your knees a little bit. And then inhale and expand the heart. Push your legs long, reaching outside of the right foot, pushing down, side body long, left shoulder pushing into the floor. Couple more breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, lift down. Right hand comes down. Lift your left leg up. Inhale. Exhale, knee to the nose. Shift way forward. Dome your upper back. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, release it down to the floor. Find a little springiness in your elbows. Same thing with your knees. Inhale, strange plank pose. Exhale, lift the chin. Coil through the tailbone. Look forward. Float or step. Inhale. Lift chin up off chest. Exhale, fold deeply forward. Inhale, rise up to the top. Exhale, arms to the side. Inhale, arms come up. And then exhale, folding forward. Hands come down to the floor. Inhale, lift chin up off the chest. Exhale, step back or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana, low push-up. Inhaling, find your upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And take the right leg nice and high. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, knee to nose, coil in. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, knee to the inside of your right armpit, so not to the outside, inside, so that you have to coil rather than broaden. So coil, opening, squeezing in. Inhale, lift it up. Inside of the left armpit, same thing. Coil through your upper back. Come up onto your left toes. Squeeze gently across. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, deep lunge. Step into your lunge. Inhale, booty pops up just a little bit so that you can take your tailbone and coil it down, coming up. So we want that coiling action. Lengthens the lower back. Come up onto your hands. Keep that coiling action. Pubic bone drops down naturally. Take the tailbone down. I like to keep my back toes curled under. It's just a preference. Then take your tailbone and draw it forward. So if you start to spin your hips open, come back out, square, tailbone down, and then lean in. Maybe you try to lift your foot, your leg up into your hands, your thigh up into your hands. And then from there, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, coil, tailbone down. Bring your hands down. Press your back leg strong. Lift up your right foot and step back. Left leg, lift it up. Inhale, knee to nose, way up onto the right toes. Dome the upper back, squeeze. Inhale, lift it up. Inner left armpit, squeeze. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, inner right armpit, squeeze. Legs up high, inhale. Exhale, squeeze in. Lunge, back knee down, square through the hips. Inhale, exhale, dome in. And then come on up, tailbone drawn down. A little bit different orientation that time. And again, if you start to squeeze in, it feels good, like a good stretch, but we want to make sure that we have the appropriate engagement and also the appropriate alignment through our lower back, our SI joints. So taking, curl the tail under, coiling down, and then from there, lean into it a little bit. So your right leg should be fairly engaged. Now lift your left leg up into your hands. So every time we take kind of a back bending action, we want to make sure that we have that engagement. So the front of the body isn't necessarily wrapped in. We want to think about lengthening the front of the body, but we take the tailbone down, creating space. One more breath, inhale, squeezing in. Press into the floor, lifting up, downward facing dog. Now take a deep inhale, strange plank pose. Inhale, pull it forward. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, floater, step to the front. Lift the heart, inhale forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reverse, rise up to the top. Exhale, arms to the side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding. Lift the chin up off the chest. Exhale, low push-up pose, chaturanga. Bring the weight forward, tip forward into the hands. Maybe you bend your knees a little bit and then float back. Low push-up. Up dog. Inhale, roll the spine long. Exhale, hips towards the sky. Lift your right leg up high. Inhale, knee to nose. Come forward onto your toes. Inhale, lift it up high again. As you exhale, inner right armpit, come forward into that strange plank pose. Left outer heel down, right knee towards the side, still towards your right elbow, left arm up. Inhale here, exhale, squeeze. 4 more. Inhale, left armpit, squeeze. Inhale, right elbow, exhale, squeeze. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, coil the tail. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. Left hand down, lift the right leg up, open it for a moment. As you exhale, coil in, step forward, wrap the tailbone down, square through the hips. Inhale, crescent pose. So the booty isn't popped back. Hug in, pull the belly button back, arms up. Hold that for a moment. So we'll make our transitions. Remember, you always have an opportunity to transition in a normal way. If you'd like to, however, you can do your float transition. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale the hands down. Take plank pose, chaturanga, or hands down. Inhale, lift your left leg up, float up, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale, lift the heart. Down dog, exhale. Lift the left leg high, inhale. Knee to nose to set the precedent. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, knee to left inner armpit. Back heel comes down, right arm comes up. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Move right hand down. Left leg lifts up. Inhale. Exhale. Lunge. Coil the tailbone down. Gaze comes in. Inhale. Press and pose. Charge the legs. Good. Way up onto your back toes. I always forget that one. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale the hands down to the floor. Tip forward into your left leg or step back to plank pose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. And then down dog. Couple of breaths. Heavy loaded drishti. And 1 inhale into your plank pose, into that awkward plank. Inhaling. Exhale, lift your hips, bend the knees deep, look forward, float or step. Lift chin up off the chest. Exhale, fold. Set deep Utkatasana. Arms come up to the sky. Airplane your arms, tailbone towards the floor. Root the tail, root the heels. Inhale, right leg comes up, lift it up. Exhale, bring it down. Left leg, inhale, bring it up, reach. Exhale, bring it down. Both arms up, inhale. Exhale, folding, hands down to the earth. Inhale, lean weight into the hands, knees up into the ribs, lean forward, float back, chaturanga. Up dog, pull the heart open. Down dog, hips towards the sky. Right leg comes up, inhale, knee to nose. Every time, try to find that coiling, knee to right armpit. Inhale, lift it up, knee to left armpit. Thread it through, back heel down to the floor, left arm, side body long. Open it up, head draws back. Push through the tailbone. Look down, left hand down, right leg lifts high, inhale, exhale, lunge. Inhale into that crescent action, lift up towards the sky, root the tailbone, exhale, hands down. Lean your weight forward, maybe you lift up into your handstand or variation. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Lift up the left leg, inhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it up, knee to left armpit. Inhale, lift it up, knee to the right inner armpit. And thread it through. Right arm reaches long. One more inhale. Exhale, look down, right hand down. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Deep breath. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands down. Find your flow. Lift up the right leg, float through, or step back, chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. And breathing. One more, awkward plank, inhale. Exhale, lift your chin, bend the knees, look forward, float or step. Lift the heart. Exhale, squeeze. automatically sit deep Utkatasana. Right leg comes up. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the right leg. So keep the right leg strong, arms strong. Inhale, without letting your right heel touch the toe or bending your knee, your right knee. Bring it through. Warrior 3. From your warrior 3, without lifting your torso, drop your right foot without letting it touch the floor, about 90 degrees. Inhale, come up. Exhale one more time. Heel comes down. Shift forward. Torso stays. Right leg comes down. Inhale, expand. Exhale, airplane arms across Utkatasana. Inhale, left leg comes up. Deep breath. Exhale, extend. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, without letting it touch, bring it back. Leg draws down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, without letting it touch, keep it strong. Lean it back. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Utkatasana, airplane arms. Arms come up. Utka. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, lift your heart. Shift weight forward. Bend the knees as you need to. Float up and back. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Nicely done. Inhale. Right leg comes up. Push back through your left heel. Exhale, up onto your toes. Pull forward. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, pull forward. Inhale, lift it up. Left inner armpit, pull forward. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, deep lunge. Inhale up into your crescent pose, expanding. Exhale, hands down. Find your flow. Lift up the left leg, float up. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left leg lifts, inhale, bring it forward, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it up, press back, knee to left inner armpit. Inhale, lift it up, right inner armpit. Lift it up high, deep lunge. Inhale, powerful embodied crescent. Exhale, hands down. Shift your weight forward, weight in the hands, tip forward into the hands, float up. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Child's pose if you need. Otherwise, about 2 more breaths. One more. Inhale, legs straighten. Exhaling, then inhale. Come forward into that awkward plank pose, coiling. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, floater step. Lift the heart, inhale. Exhale, fold. Set deep, Utkatasana. Right leg comes up, inhale. As you exhale, extend the leg. Inhale without letting it touch. Slowly bring it back. Warrior 3. Hands come to heart. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the back leg. Exhale, Shiva squat without touching the floor with your hands. Coil in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, coil in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, Shiva squat. Squeeze in. Hands down. Find your transition here. Lean way forward. If you're able to, find that pause at the top. Lift up, and then chaturanga. That was a little bit different than I planned, but it felt good. So press the breath out here. Look forward, in front of the mat. Utkatasana, left leg comes up. Inhale. That's me falling out. And then exhale, straighten. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, without letting it touch. Warrior 3, hands come to heart. Inhale, lift the heart forward. Exhale, knee to the outside of the calf. Shiva squat. Inhale, reach, Press legs long. Exhale, bend your knees. If you fall out, that's fine. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, squeeze it in. Hands down to the floor. Find the pause here. Again, we're gonna find that lift. Lift up, inhale. And then chaturanga when you're ready. Up dog and down dog. Two more breaths. Right leg comes up, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Leg up, inhale. Exhale, step to lunge. Coil in. Pause here for a moment. Really coil through your core. Lift the right foot off the floor without actually doing it. Then crescent to arms come up, inhale. And then exhale, hands down. From here, keep your right knee in towards your rib cage. Shift your right arms out in front. So keep the knee in, just like you're going into a Shiva squat, except left leg is long. Press your hands into the floor with your hands on the floor. Keep your right knee drawn in and try to take a stag handstand. So push into the floor. Lift up, inhale. Maybe you give it 2 or 3 goes. Squeezing in. Hug the knee in. Reach your left leg. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Left leg one time. Lifts up, inhale. Knee to nose. Leg up, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Step forward. So coiling in, tailbone drawn in. Come up into the crescent for a moment. Exhale the hands back down to the floor out in front. Step the left foot back a little bit as you need. Find that prep pose for that Shiva squat. Push into the floor. Left knee stays into the chest. And again, maybe 3 times towards your stag handstand as you'd like, but squeeze in, hug in, lift up, hold, and then chaturanga as you're ready. Up dog, down dog. One more full inhale. Exhale, bend the knees deep, look forward, step or float. Lift the heart, inhaling. Exhale, full deep. Utkatasana, arms come up. Exhale, Samastihitihi. Hands to your waist, feet apart. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold at the waist. Reach down, find your big toes. Inhale, lift your heart, inner thighs back. Exhale, fold deep. Let your head go, bend your knees as you need. Couple of breaths. Couple more. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, unroll the spine, look forward. Exhale, fold, Padahastasana. Hands underneath your feet, bend the knees as you need. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, fold deep. Couple of breaths. Again, heavy lidded drishti. Half closed eyes. Looking down off the nose. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, folding in. Bring your hands to your waist. Inhale with bent knees or straight, come up. And exhale, feet together, Samastihitihi. Arms come up, inhale. Exhale, fold at the waist, bend the knees as you need, hands down. Inhale, lift chin up off chest. Shift your weight forward. Keep the knees drawn in a little bit. Step back or float. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right leg comes up. Inhale. Coil in deep. Squeeze in. Right foot down. Back outer heel down. Reach your left arm forward. Keep your right arm down. Inhale, reach side body long. As you exhale, warrior two. Reaching out, holding your warrior two. Feel your right inner thigh lift up, externally rotate the quadricep. Your left inner thigh spins back, tailbone drawn down. Flip your front palm, inhale here. Then take your palm, rotate, so your thumb rotates. Take your left hand to the hip bone, push down a little bit. Feel this stretch, elbow hugs back. Spin the heart open. So only a little bit of pressure. Let it register, nothing more. It's not a posture to get deep, get depth here, just for it to trigger. Inhale here, exhale, right hand comes back down. Lift the left arm long, inhale, exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, set deep, flip your front palm. Inhale, reach side body long. Exhale, hand down. Left hand comes down. Lean the weight forward into your front foot or step back into plank pose. Find your vinyasa. Handstand it if you'd like. Maybe handstand splits this time. Lift up. Maybe you give it a shot or two. And then chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left leg, inhale. Exhale, lunge. Back heel down. Left hand stays down. Externally rotate front thigh. Right arm long. And again, thinking of right, left quadricep rotated out as you peel the right hip back. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Hold. Left shin bone forward, but thigh bone hugged back into the socket. From here, flip your front palm, flip your back palm, reaching back. Inhale. From there, if you'd like, add that little bit of pressure, opening up through the hip capsule, if that's a thing. Then inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hold. Flip your front palm. Inhale, revolved. Exhale, left hand down, right hand down. Find your transition. Right leg comes up. And then lift up. Come up. One more breath. Turn your hand standing. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Couple of breaths. Then from here, take a deep breath. Finish your exhale, look forward, bend the knees, float or step to the front. Lift the heart. Fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the top. And exhale, arms to the side. Deep breaths. And go ahead and take your, I want you to step out so you can kind of see what's going on in the camera. So I'm going to step back to the left, but you might need to step back to the right. Hands to your waist. Inhale here. Exhale. Fold forward. Palms down. Inhale. Lift your heart. Exhale. Fold. Head heavy. Gaze off the nose towards the sky. Again, heavy lidded drishti. Paying attention to the gaze, the breath, engagement. Then inhale, lift your heart forward. As you exhale, bring your heels in, feet to about a 45-degree angle, and then taking a variation of horse pose, a little bit different. Elbows can come to the knee, or find your shin bones with your hands pressing out. Lift your hips up rather than setting as deep as you can. So lift your hips up, pull the heart forward, So Shiva Ray kind of posture here. Pull up on your arms, so you're trying to lift your feet off the floor with your arms. Lift your booty up. Somebody asked if I said booty. Booty is an anatomical term for me, so the booty popping is an anatomical action. Lift your heart, spread your collarbones. Press out through your elbows. Lift your hips up a little bit. And then go ahead and release down to the floor, forward fold. And then bring your hands to your waist. Inhale, come up. Exhale, pause here. Take your arms out. Drop your thumbs down. Interlace your fingers, spread the heart open. Inhale, exhale, dive it forward. And drop the chin, drop your shoulders, coil in, look towards the sky. Hands down the backs of the legs. Bring your heels back in and find that little bit of a Shiva Ray horse pose. Lift the heart, lengthen. And then from here, bring your hands down. Make your feet parallel. Walk your arms out in front. Bend your left leg. So a little bit of a skandasana squat on the left. Keep your right foot right where it's at. To deepen, hands further forward. Lean hips further back. So it's like an awkward downward dog. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, bending the right side a little bit. Knee drawn out. A couple more times. Inhale, exhale left. Inhale, exhale right. One more time. Inhale, exhale, squeeze in. We started on the left. So with your left knee bent, go ahead and bring it down. Come into a full skandasana. I'm going to use my hand on my left thigh here just to extend out of the groin. And then take your right heel, pull back. So heels drawn back, right heel's drawn back, leg is strong. This can be good here, or taking your elbow to the inside, reach your right arm up. So again, pull the right heel back. Tailbone draws in. Release right hand down. Come up to the other side. Come up onto your right toes. Left heel this time pulls back. You can stay there. Hand can come up onto the thigh. Just allows you to kind of deepen the groin on the left side or the right. Maybe right elbow to the inner leg. Left arm up. Twisting open. Squeeze your left heel back. Lift the heart open. One more breath. Look down to the floor. Left hand comes down. Push your right leg straight. And then bring your hands to your waist. Inhale, come up. Exhale. So one more variation here. Let's take a vinyasa though. Step to the front. Arms come up. Inhale. Exhale, folding. This time we'll change up our vinyasa. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, the left foot steps back deep into your lunge. Inhale, exhale. Right leg steps back. Let's do a plank pose for a moment. So the best plank pose is a spontaneous plank pose. So find that booty pop for a moment. Lift your chest forward. Then as you exhale, draw your chin in a little bit. Press your tailbone down. Dome the upper back. We want to have length in the back of the neck, so lift the back of the skull towards the sky. 3, 4, and then 5. Lift your hips up, inhale the left leg up, and then step forward into your lunge. Inhale, lift the heart forward. Exhale, squeeze in. Right leg joins. Inhale, lift heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left foot steps out, and then, step back to the back. So square the hips, inhale here, and then exhale and folding. Left hand drawn, so hands down, bring your left hand in front of your face. Take your right arm up to the sky. So that can be your first part of the posture, but take your left shoulder towards your right toes. So it's like you're leaning out to the outside. Lift up your left hip a little bit. Now take your right shoulder and draw it back. Both patterns simultaneously create the pose. Take your right thumb, point it towards the back of you, and bend your right elbow, bring it towards your left inner thigh, and then bending your left elbow, maybe you grab the side of your foot or your calf, let your head go, maybe bring your elbow down. Lots of stages here. Lift up the left hip a little bit if it's dropped. Then left hand comes back to center, inhale, right arm comes down. Lift up the left arm up to the sky. Right shoulder this time towards your left ankle. Left shoulder peels back, so both sides of the body long. Left elbow bends, reach for your inner thigh. And then from here, bending at the waist, maybe your elbow comes towards the floor as your hand finds the side of your foot. Now the right hip drops in. Lift it up. Let your head be heavy. And then go ahead and release. Right hand comes down. Left arm comes down. Shake it out a little bit. Walk your arms way out in front. So I like to do symmetrical postures after asymmetrical poses. So arms way out in front. Let your head go. So to deepen, your hands are further out, your hips push further back. Should feel pretty relaxing, however. Walk the hands back, inhaling, and then rotate towards the front of your mat. Step back, high plank pose. Hold a while. Nose. We're at that moment in history where everything is uncertain, so might as well deal with uncertainty right here. Keep your eyes soft. Down dog, hips to the sky. Maybe a child's pose if you need. And then from there, with your hips in child's pose, come up into your tabletop. Cross your ankles and then lay or legs straight out in front for Paschimottanasana. Walk your tushy back. So tushy is the same thing as a booty, but when you're seated. So the tushy walk and the booty pop have a similar aspect. And so we want to lift up the heart. Quadriceps are strong. Reach for your big toes. And again, try not to let your abdomen just fold out. Instead, keep it together. Inhale. Elbow as wide as you exhale. So try to keep your chest open, shoulder blades peel back. Allow your breath to really deepen for you. Inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, reach to the outside of your feet. Thumb on the big toe, knuckle, peel the little toes back. Inhale, heart expands forward. And exhale, folding. Keep your gaze up. Again, heavy lidded drishti. Halfway closed eyes, off the tip of the nose. Inhale, come up. As you exhale, bring your elbows down to the floor behind you, and then let your head draw back. Gaze off the nose. If you feel like you just collapse into the back of the neck here, lift your chin up, look towards your navel, push your toes down, look off the tip of the nose, eyes almost closed, pretty close to halfway closed. Let your head draw back without changing your gaze. You'll keep your neck a little bit longer. Slowly lay down on your back. Lift both legs up to the sky. Bring your arms out nice and wide. Bend your knees so there's 90-degree angles. Toes can be flexed back. Take an inhale here, and then Jatardha Parivartanasana. Always screwed that name up, but taking your knees over towards the left side first, but don't let them touch the floor. Bring them about 2 to 3 inches off the floor. Now you'll notice your right knee might slide back a little bit. Stack your knees. Look over your shoulder. Take your left arm. Push the palm flat in order to reach out through the right fingertips. One more breath. Looking up. Inhale, bring the legs up. Exhale to the other side. So a series of postures. Super good for digestion. So this time my left knee is kind of hugged back. Push out through the left knee as you look over. Inhale, the legs come up. And then exhale this time over to the left side again. Stack the knees. Pause for a moment. Inhale. Exhale, let the knees come all the way down. But keep them stacked. Look over the right shoulder if you'd like. So they come all the way down. You should feel a nice twist. We kind of square through the hips just a little bit to create length in the lower back. So there's space. And then we twist from the belly button a little bit, drawing the right ribs back. One more breath. Look up. Inhale, bring the legs up to the top. And then exhale to 2 inches or so. Stack the hips, stack the knees. Feet come down. This time, right hand presses down to bring the left shoulder down. Maybe your eyes start to close. As we start to wrap things up, the knees stacked. Look up, inhale, bring the legs up. So one more variation of that. Lift the legs towards straight. As we move into the posture, we're going to separate the legs for a moment, but our ultimate goal is to keep the heels and legs almost like one long leg. So let the right leg rotate out to the outside just a little bit to provide off balance. Then take your left leg out towards the left side of the room, and then the right leg push through your heel and stack heels out to the outside. Gaze over towards the right. Keep the legs strong, push through your heels. Right hip reaches, left hip reaches a little bit. And right foot by itself comes up to the top, left foot follows. And then stack your heels. Over towards the left. Right hand still facilitates a little bit of the twist. Towards the ceiling. This time just the left leg comes up. And then as it does, the right leg starts to follow. Then take your left hand towards the back of the calf on the left side or the side of the foot. And then draw the leg towards the floor. But we want to keep it about shoulder height. As we do, maybe your right shoulder comes up off the floor for a moment. And then stack your heels. Look over the right shoulder, pressing down. So this is a little bit different transition. So take your right arm out to the outside of your right foot, and then or the side of the back of the calf as well. Then take your foot up towards the ceiling. Right foot right foot comes up first. Then let the left leg follow to the other side. Always feels kind of childlike here. Then left arm opens up to the side. Taking one more full breath. Find your right side, left hand to the side of the foot or the side of the calf. And then inhale, pull the toes up almost towards plow pose. Left leg comes up first, then the right foot comes up. Happy baby pose here if you'd like, or split-legged plow pose, toes towards the floor. Draw your hips back. If you're working the happy baby pose, press your feet into your hands into your feet. Lengthen the spine through the neck. If you're in the plow pose, find your happy baby pose. Take your left heel towards your glutes, right leg out, squeeze, left elbow pushes out, Right quadricep externally rotates. And then right heel towards your glutes, left leg extends. Press your right elbow out. And then release your left foot in. Both legs up to the sky. Reach your arms up. And then slowly lay on your back. I like to bend my knees as I do. You can do a constructive rest, knees together, feet to the outside, a little angle in the feet, or Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together. I'll rest in Savasana for a couple of minutes. Now the eyes are closed. They can be open a little bit. Just try not to be distracted here. Our goal is not focus or even meditation. Our goal here is to assimilate the practice, to allow it to digest. For the mouth to soften. Imagine that you close your eyes. With eyes closed, imagine closing them again. And again. Let the stress and discomfort dissolve. Posture, work towards straightening out the legs, in front of those. So you're more than welcome to stay here. If you'd like to start waking up the body, first start with the breath. The small joints first, just build connection back to physiology. Blowing out the wrists and the ankles, finding some movement. Maybe bend the elbows and the knees a little bit, so you're working towards larger joints. Back to the peripheral. Rolling your head side to side a couple of times. The larger joints, the shoulders and hip. Reach your arms up above your head. As you do, rotate your pubic bone forward. As you exhale, release back into the floor. One more time. Lower back lifts, pubic bone rotates forward. Thighs are strong. Release. Melts into the floor. Draw your knees in. Roll over onto your side. Rest your head on your lower arm. to the mat. Eyes closed. Bringing hands to heart center. Just remembering that one of the reasons why we practice is not so much to get better at yoga, although that's nice. It's not so much because of the physical benefits of the practice, which is also nice. It's more so that we can keep our shit together when things go awry. So we can be a source of stability and strength, so that we can continue to live out of our heart rather than out of our reptilian brain. So we can live from those core aspects of who we are and maintain. Yeah. Beautiful, wonderful work, you guys. So I'll go ahead and leave you this morning. Let's go ahead and do one Om as a collective. Deep breath, inhale. I bow to you all. Namaste. Have wonderful days. Love y'all. Miss ya.